Peace, family. What's going on? What's going on? It's your brother Q with you this morning. Uh, just wanted to bring some commentary on what has happened in the last few days in regards to Newark Mayor Ras Baraka being arrested. Uh, my brothers from Pat Talk, they did a beautiful commentary on Friday. I missed it. You know, Saturday night, I was supposed to address some of these issues and got caught up with some things. But I'm gonna be addressing it, talking about it. It's very important to know because this has picked up so much national spotlight that we always want to be objective with our commentary. We want to be straight to the point. We want to give people all the information that we know and all the information that's out there and allow the people to decide what really happened based upon the facts and why so many people in the Newark area and surrounding areas have called this a political stunt. So appreciate everybody that's going to be joining in. Remember, the best way to support the channel is to like, share, and subscribe. But we will be proceeding shortly and getting into this whole situation of Mayor Ras Baraka being arrested for trespassing on federal grounds. And we will be starting shortly. Yes, everyone. I'm here. We're gonna have a little background music, just to give some bring something more a little bit to the broadcast. We're gonna have some music playing. So just to give you guys some perspective of what happened on Friday, May 9th, Mayor Ras Baraka was arrested at Delaney Hall. Delaney Hall is a federal ICE facility. It's been there for years. It wasn't just an ICE facility. Prior to that, it was a facility ran by CEO, a facility ran by John Clancy, and it housed inmates, whether you were about to go to a state prison or facing county jail. It was basically a place where they would use as an annex to the county jails from Union and Essex County. So just to give some little context, and if you want to know more about Delaney Hall and what has gone on in Delaney Hall, you can definitely look it up. Very interesting situation. So prior to we need to understand context. Everything that goes on, context is very important, family, and we need to understand context. So prior to what happened, prior to Mayor Ras Baraka being arrested, I'm going to show you guys something, a few things. I have quite a few things lined up, but it's going to be a nice broadcast. But remember, like, share, subscribe. Prior to Mayor Baraka being arrested, this came out. Here we go. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, this is a poll by Rutgers. It was in New Jersey Globe. This is a poll by Rutgers. And what you see on the screen is Rutgers poll shows GOP Dem divide in New Jersey governor race. Jack Citarelli, who is GOP, Republican Party, he leads his early primary poll numbers by 42%. And according to them, it's no clear Democratic runners. Now, as we scroll down and you see key takeaways include Republican race, 42% of registered Republicans, Republican-leaning independents support Jack Citarelli, 12% Bill Spada, John Bramnick, Justin Barbara, Mario Krinjak, and so forth, so on. 4%, none of the candidates. As we scroll down and you go to the Democratic race, 17% of registered Democrat and Democrat-leaning independents support Mickey Sherrill. 12% support Steve Fulop. 10% support Sean Spiller. 9% support Josh Gothamir. Another 9% supports Mayor Ras Baraka. 7% support Steve Swinney. 4% prefer none of the candidates. And the reason why we need to understand context, like I said, this happened prior to him being arrested. This happened to Mayor Baraka prior to him being arrested. And we need to understand the context behind all this. Yeah, I got my robe on, you guys, so just bear with me. So I'm going to read something else to you guys so you guys get some more context. Right? For those that don't know, Donald Payne Jr. had passed away, and his seat went to someone by the name of LaMonica MacGyver, who we discussed on Inquisition Newark with the sister Sheila and Muta. Well, the Payne family, prior to this arrest, the Payne family endorsed Mickey Sherrill. This is Mickey Sherrill, the white lady here, and this is Donald Payne Jr. This is big because Donald Payne Sr., Donald Payne Jr. are very, very popular in Essex County area. Very, very, very popular. So they endorsed Mickey, his family. And as I read it down here, I'll read the article to you guys. This is also New Jersey Globe. Payne family patriarch endorses Mickey Sherrill for governor. William Payne, a former assemblyman who is the brother and uncle of Newark congressman, takes sides in Democratic race. Newark political royalty. The family of the late Rep. Donald Payne Jr. is backing Mickey Sherrill of Montclair in the Democratic gubernatorial primary, escorting Newark Mayor Ras Baraka bid to become the state's black governor. Because we have strong, serious concerns about the policies coming out of the White House, we place an even greater importance on winning the State House in November. We do not want to see the policies of the Trump administration brought home to New Jersey, said William D. Payne, a former assemblyman. We believe that Representative Mickey Sherrill has a positive vision for New Jersey's future and is the candidate most capable of winning the trust of a majority of the voters. The Payne and Baraka families go way back and are neighbors in Newark South Ward. The late Rep. Donald Payne Sr. and the late mayor's father, Amiri Baraka, were sometimes allies and sometimes rival. The same can be said about a third prominent Southward political family led by Sharp James. William Payne, 92. William Payne, the 92-year-old patriarch of the family that has produced 2 congressmen, freeholders, legislators, city, and councilmen, was the first in the family to enter politics. He ran for an at-large seat on Newark City Council in 1962 and ran for mayor in 1994 when the incumbent James defeated both Payne and Baraka, then 24 years old. Baraka ran against Donald Payne Jr. in the city council race. We speak with great personal respect for the talented field of candidates running for the Democratic nomination for governor, Payne said. All of them are friends of the family and honorable public servants with much to offer the state. According to Payne, the endorsement is on behalf of the family and in recognition of Sherrill's friendship with Donald Payne Jr. She was loyal and committed friend to Donald Jr. They worked hard together to deliver funding for the Gateway Tunnel, the most consequential infrastructure project in the country, which will create thousands of jobs in New Jersey, William Payne said. Mickey has persuaded us that she is committed to carrying out the torch forward in the issues Donald Payne Sr. and Donald Jr. fought in their 10th congressional district in the halls of Congress. Sherrill and Payne shared representation of Bloomfield, Montclair, and West Orange for a time, and Payne was Cheryl's congressman. Donald Payne Jr. was a dear friend and mentor and an expert on transportation policy. We had so many important discussions about how to better deliver for New Jersey, but when in reality lit up, when he talked about his family, stated Cheryl, I'm humbled and grateful to have their support in this campaign. The Paynes have dedicated their lives to public service, improving the city of Newark and the state of New Jersey. And I look forward to carrying out these efforts as governor to tackle the structural barriers that hold kids and families back. Family, we need to understand what's going on. We need to really, really understand what is going on in this area, what's going on prior to this. So, like I said, prior to Mayor Ras Baraka being arrested, and this is why so many people have called this a political stunt, is because that poll came out, the Payne family had endorsed Mickey Sherrill, and then I'm going to show you guys something else. This was out. On Tuesday, this flyer came out last week. On Tuesday, they're having what they call State of the Power People Tour, registered in Newark, New Jersey. And if you could see some of the people there, you could see Tamika Marley, my son, Ras Baraka. I don't know who the rest of these people are. So all of this is going on, and they're deciding to have this in Newark on Tuesday prior to this arrest. Also prior to this arrest, this was Mayor Baraka 2 or 3 days prior to his arrest. He was down there. That's Delaney Hall. That is federal property. That's where he was arrested at. He was down there prior to that as well. I'm going to show you guys a video, but before I show the video, I'm going to show you one of the major things that was significant last week prior to his arrest as well. ICE Newark nabs man wanted for homicide in East Orange. Juan Luis Ramos Marin is wanted in his native Venezuela for homicide. ICE said he entered the United States without being inspected and admitted or paroled by an immigration officer, ICE said. He was wanted and illegal was arrested last week prior to Mayor Ras Baraka's arrest in Newark. And this is all relative, guys. This is all relative. So Mayor Baraka, he led some protesters. He led, from what I understand, it was ashamed convicted felon Bob Mendez and his wife, son, who was down there, as well as LaMonica MacGyver, who took over Donald Payne Jr.'s seat on an election that a lot of people say was shady. So prior to that, 2 or 3 days prior to that, this was Mayor Baraka.
Our laws, because the President of the United States is running roughshod over the Constitution, over the Bill of Rights. We're going to do our job to make sure that these people that they have in this building, these human beings that they have in this building, right, are their rights are not being violated, they're not being held unlawfully, that the conditions are sanitary, the environment is safe. We're going to do everything we can, and ultimately, we want the judge to say that they shouldn't have people in this building, and we should remove them all from this property in the first place. Thank you for coming.
Now, if you see, you guys, Mayor Baraka was not standing on he was not standing on the property during the time that he made this speech. The protesters was across the street, away from the facility. And it's relative. It's relative to what we're talking about. It's relative to what happened, because something happened prior to this. ICE officers, those officers guarding that facility, don't go on public property unless they're going to make an arrest. don't go onto public property to arrest anyone unless they're illegal. That's their jurisdiction. Their jurisdiction is to check someone's immigration status and or arrest someone that's on federal property. So this is the actual arrest. The footage is shaky, but this is the actual arrest. And as you can see, anybody that knows the mayor or any mayor of a major city, he has a large security team that always is with him within the earshot distance. Even when he comes around, he's going to have at least one or two people around during any social gathering. If he pops up and during the event, because he's known for popping up during events without even people knowing, he'll have at least one or two. He'll have a detail with him. So this is him being arrested, you guys. And as you can see, folks, they are at that gate. They are on federal property now. He was arrested while he was on federal property, not across the street. He was on federal property. The lady in the red, that's LaMonica MacGyver, who, like I said, took over Donald Payne's seat. Basically, she won in the election. Like I said before, you know, a lot of people questioned how she got put in that seat. They said that the election or how she got the amount of people that voted for her may have been shaky.
Get off of me! Get your hands off of me! Get your hands off of me! I'm not letting you. I'm not letting you. You cannot push. You cannot push. You cannot push. You cannot. Congressman, get over her.
So as you can see, LaMonica, she was arrested as well. She was brought back there as well. Some of his security are right there. Like the security, they can't do anything with ICE officials.
Member of Congress, put on brown shirt. Use her. Thank you. Use her.
Fair use, fair use. So yeah, folks, that is the arrest. But we're gonna look at it again for the sake of, you know, more context.
Get off of me! Get your hands off of me! Get your hands off of me! I'm not letting you.
Some of that is security detail, but usually it's more than that. But like I said, you see the ICE officers making that arrest.
Get over her! Just stop. Stop right here. Member of Congress, put on brown shirts. You're looking smart. Thank you.
And folks, there you go. Fair use, fair use. And there you go, folks. You can see exactly what happened, the arrest, everything. And a lot of people feel as though it was a political stunt. A lot of people feel as though it was staged because it's polling numbers. And I'm going to present a video of a sister who is dear to every Newark resident, a sister who is dear to every surrounding city of Newark, New Jersey resident. She is an activist. She has been fighting for the people of Newark and the surrounding areas for at least, I could say, the last 20, 25 years. She speaks truth to power. This was her response. She did a video, pretty long. I'm not going to play the whole video, but I'm going to play enough of it. And she did a video and she spoke about how she feels and what was going on. And a lot of Newark residents, the pushback of why people feel like it was a political stunt is, like I said, his numbers. His numbers, according to some of these polls, are doing bad. Some people feel like Newark has too many problems for him to be worried about what President Trump got going on. Some people feel like he shouldn't even be running for governor because of these issues. It's been a lot. Like I said, I've brought Sheila on the show, Sheila and Muta, who I'm real close with, and they both have some personal experiences with dealing with this administration and some of the tactics that Mayor Baraka has used. I always like to tell people that Mayor Baraka's brother is a personal friend of mine. Anybody that's from the Essex County area knows the family, knows at least one member of the family. They have a big family. So when I bring the commentary on this, I don't have a bias. I mean, it is what it is. It's out there, and public figures can be critiqued based off of their position. So this was the purpose of the commentary. But I'm gonna play Sister Donna Jackson. If you guys don't know, or you ever been in the Essex County area, man, Sister Donna Jackson is known as putting the work in. A lot of people may not like her. However, she's an advocate for, like I said, the Newark residents and the surrounding areas. She's always on the scene. She steps up. She shows up and shows out. And she always speaking truth to power.
We down at the ICE Center. We down here to let them know we don't want them out. Go ahead, partner. We down here. That's right.
Stay locked up. ICE has been here for years. Mayor Ras Baraka did nothing. You got detainees still in there. Those chief of staff. Billy Liza was the director of ICE. Mayor Ras Baraka
Let's go, partner.
Nothing. Mayor Ras Baraka knows. Activists for ICE have been going around the freeway.
Hey, how you been? How you doing?
And Mayor Ras Baraka said nothing.
Yes, I remember you. That's what I'm saying. You do a little
This is all about the governor's race.
That's all it is, publicity.
This is
all it is.
Political. It's about the governor's race.
How you doing?
Keep him in there.
Yes.
Let him stay in there. Do not let him out. Let him stay in there. Do not let Mayor Ras Baraka out. Let him stay.
Hold this
for
me, Bob.
He cares nothing about the people that are inside of there. They've been in there for years. The board has spoken. Joe DiVincenzo, the board has spoken. I will be here. Hannah Montana will be down here soon with her hat to the back, with her vest on. So it's going to stay, Mr. Baraka. You're not going to nothing. As a matter of fact, he doesn't even eat meat. I want somebody to give him a nice steak while he's in here. He deserves to be locked up for what he has done to the city of Newark. Keep him in there. Keep him in there. Keep him in there. Do not let him out. He should know what it feels like when the citizens come to the council meeting to speak their piece and he locks us up. Good for you, Mayor Baraka. This is all staged. Believe me when we tell you, it's all staged. He can care less about ICE. Mr. Trump, get here. Get here, Mr. Trump. Please do not keep our federal money because Mr. Baraka wants to play games. Please do not harm the city of Newark because Mr. Baraka wants to play games. Please do not do that, President Trump. All of us do not agree with Mr. Baraka. All of us do not agree with him. Lock him up and let him stay locked up. Let him stay. 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 Hannah Montana. Hannah Montana, get here. Hyder, I know your name is Hyder, but we call you Hannah Montana, and we need you to get here.
You guys, this is what's going on, man. This is when you think about what has went on in Newark and Chicago, New York City prior to Eric Adams growing a set of nuts. You see that these cities, these two black mayors, in particular the three black mayors, Ras Baraka, Brandon, and Eric Adams, they literally have waged war on their own constituents and city for the immigrants. That's Sister Donna Jackson there. She's probably talking to the news. Like I said, she's an advocate. She's been out in these streets advocating for the city of Newark, advocating for the residents. And this is nothing new. The sister that had the bullhorn said some names in reference. She was talking about the U.S. attorney who's from New Jersey, who Trump sent her to New Jersey to deal with the crime and the illegals because of this ICE facility. This ICE facility got approved to start helping ICE do their job by Joe DeFacencio, who is the Essex County executive. So this is a game that's going on. I have a statement after Mayor Baraka was arrested that Joe D put out. And this is why it's talking on deaf ears. And this is why Sister Donna, and her team, a lot of residents in Newark, a lot of people that's actually quietly in the administration is saying that this is a political stunt. And he's doing it to try to get his numbers up for this governor race. So as we see the sister, she's talking to the news, letting them know what's going on. She's always been doing this. It's not about, this isn't personal. Anybody that knows about Donna Jackson, this isn't personal. She addressed Cory Booker. If you notice, if you ever go back to when Cory Booker and Sharp James was going at each other for the mayor race, she was holding them accountable. When Booker lost, she was holding Sharp James accountable. When Booker won, she was holding Booker accountable, who also made a statement as the senator of New Jersey, who also made a statement in response, and I'll show it in the support of Ras Baraka. But like I said, Sister Donna Jackson, been in these streets, been an advocate. The Sister Sheila that I brought on the show, they out here. Sister Sheila Montague, she's an educator. She's been doing this for a long time, you guys. She's been going to these schools, going to these homeless shelters, making sure the seniors making sure the seniors got heat and hot water, because there'd be some strange stuff going on. These advocates, these street advocates are literally, you guys, they're going to the city council meetings, being banned from speaking. Like literally when they ask people in the gallery, is it time? Somebody got anything to say? They ban them from speaking. like literally ban them from speaking. And hopefully in the future, I'll be able to bring somebody who I know who's out there, another sister named Nadira on the show, lifelong friend. Like I said, I've known Donna for some time. Everybody knows Donna. Mutai is
that you pulled. You guys let each other know that you were coming down here today, and we came down here today to just let everybody know. First of all, this was politically staged because Ras is behind in the polls. This has nothing to do with Newark. This has nothing to do with the ICE Center. This is something that has been getting attention because folks from out of town, primarily white folks, came in here advocating for the ICE centers to not be open for people to come out. They did the exact same thing while over here at the Green Monster, aka Delaney, aka the Essex County Jail. The ICE prisoners were housed right over here in that green building right straight across from this one. They were there almost 11 years under the rule of Joe D, receiving $40 to $60 million a year from the federal government to house them in a different part of the jail in the back. The green part that is leaking, mold, asbestos, and everything else in there, Joe D didn't care about those prisoners, but we had ICE prisoners on the back half of this jail. On the back half of this jail, we had prisoners there for 11 years. Ras never opened his mouth. Not one elected official ever opened their mouth. Never came down here. Never told Joe D to close that down. Never talked about the conditions of the prisoners that's on the regular side of the jail. The conditions of the workers that are in the jail. They had Legionnaires outbreak in the county jail. He never came down here to see about that. We had a breakout of Legionnaires over at Northern State Prison. Never went over there. Officers got sick, inmates got sick, people died at Northern State Prison from the Legionnaires being in the water, being undetected, not being treated, water not being flushed. So we didn't care. So now, because you behind in the polls, Ras Baraka, you planned this today. You came down here, you saged this nonsense to get taken into federal custody. And we came down here today to tell you the jig is up. We came down here today to tell the U.S. attorney that you should be charged for crimes against humanity. The conditions that the people of the city of Newark live in, under your rule, under your destruction, under your evilness, you and your whole team. You got people living in apartments, got water running in over the top of their head. You got seniors living in deplorable conditions. You got the seniors in new community housing. Seniors, the emergency pool cords don't work. They got water running in the bathroom, water running up in feces, running up in the apartments because the sewers are backing up. You got people losing their homes because of these fires that are being set by the LLC boys. Never talk about that. You never talk about that. You never do anything because those LLC boys pay into your campaign. So because you need a little bit more attention, you're going to come down here today, stage this nonsense, and of course the usual Baraka cheerleading squad is going to say, oh, hands off our mayor. No, no. I'm telling Hannah Montana, keep him in there because he needs to understand how it feels. He needs to understand how it feels when he does that to residents who come down to the North Council meeting to express their opinion about what is going on and has the police escort people out, arrest people, violates our rights at those meetings all the time. You don't have to like what I said or anybody else said, but you do not have the right to take the police and use Gestapo tactics like you trying to tell people was done to you today here. You don't have the right to use this Ras to your advantage because you down in the polls. So I want everybody to know today that this nonsense down here at this federal ICE center on Doremus Avenue in Newark, New Jersey was all planned. They orchestrated this nonsense last night because that's how Mr. Baraka does, to get us to have a conversation about ICE. We ain't got to worry about ICE. We got people going to landlord-tenant court being evicted. We got people whose lights are being turned off. We got people who are at a job where their medical insurance has quadrupled over the last 2 years. And you say, what does Ras have to do with that? Well, city employees ask them about their health benefits, how much their health insurance is, how much their deductibles have gone up since he's been there in the last year without appropriate raises. how Mayor Baraka gave himself a 32% increase as the mayor and backpaid himself to 2014, walking away from the table with a big check. Nobody knew about that. That's Mayor Baraka. All of the COVID money that was sent in here by Donald Trump, he didn't send none of that back. He wasn't talking no mess then, but he didn't pay the hazard pay to the workers. Not a dime of the hazard pay went to the workers. He didn't pay him, and Joe D didn't pay him either. The Essex County Sheriffs are 10 years without a contract. Then they turned around and gave him a contract for 6 years. Now they 4 years out the contract. And guess what Joe gave him? 0, 0, 2%, 0. But guess what Joe D's raise was? Guess what the administration raise was? Joe D gave himself 24%. So it's time. It's time for this stuff to be exposed. We got to stop being out of the loop and knowing what's going on. We watching what's going on in our community. Those of us who live here, we know Newark has never, ever been in this condition. We've never been in this condition in Newark. And how dare this man, and y'all know I don't call him one, but I'm trying to keep it clean today, come down here today to try to orchestrate this nonsense, this waste of time. You got to remember, y'all, Ras still getting paid to be the mayor. Why is he down here in federal stuff? You need to be taking care of the city. We don't have a 2025 budget. We got homeowners right now that are paying taxes that's not even at the rate it's supposed to be. And we have a municipal council that has not passed the budget. With the state of New Jersey kicked the 2024 budget back. And they stick, absolutely, that's what we're saying here, already. Keep him locked up. Because he should be. For crimes against the residents of the city of Newark. Crimes against us. Crimes against the people. Keep taking all that money. You think he getting millions of dollars from regular residents who are supporting the campaign? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We got to get off of this line A all the way BS. Because that's exactly what it is, BS. Because look where we are 30 years later under black leadership. The new word out here is all skin folk ain't kinfolk. Yeah, we better say it. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. Stop being disillusioned, people. You live here. You see what your grandparents are going through. Anybody who have somebody in that green monster over there, whether they're in as an inmate, whether they work there, cafeteria, in the nurses' quarters, we know what's going on inside that Essex County jail. They can act like at that jail everything is okay, but it is not. Very concerned every day about the conditions in there. He ain't never came down here. Never came down here and did a rally at this jail. We have. Never did one. You running for governor, you didn't speak up for the sheriff officers. You didn't speak up for the youth house employees. You didn't speak up even for the jail guards and other employees in there who went 10 whole years under Joe D. You ain't call him. You ain't asked Joe why he doing this, why he holding the workers hostage. Why he negotiated that deal with the Essex County correction officers and stole their money by increasing that insurance payment, where they thought they would be taking home $30,000 to $50,000 and they went home with less than 10. Because you causing all this stuff with people. I know that's right, sir. Yeah, keep them locked up. That's right. Keep them locked up. We got support out here. That's right. We got support because people know who we are. They know what time it is in this city. They know what time it is here, and we're going to stop playing like we don't know. So what's your favorite?
Now, what the sister said about Trump, what she really was saying was during the transition from Trump to Biden, President Biden, he gave up some COVID money, which is called ARPA. I've been speaking about it myself, Sister Keisha, that's part of the Let's Talk team. Sister Keisha is an excellent researcher, and I'm very, very grateful for her support. But what Sister Donna Jackson is speaking about, during President Biden, he said it was American Rescue Plan Act. It's ARPA. It's called ARPA money. He gave out a bunch of ARPA money. And what happened is the Republicans bucked at the ARPA money. They said specifically, if this money is released, it is going to be misappropriated. The Republicans said it, and Biden approved it and gave the money to a lot of these major cities, and it was supposed to be for COVID infrastructure, resources, stuff like that. And majority of the money got misappropriated. Majority of the money, a lot of these municipalities used the money for the wrong stuff. Wasn't supposed to be for what they used it for. And this is why in New Jersey, places like East Orange, Newark, it's another town, I think Lakewood, or one of the towns down by Jersey Shore, who are in a deficit now because they misappropriated these funds. It was a big political grift that went on. So that's one of the things she's talking about the ARPA money. And another thing that she said is line A all the way. There is a major thing that goes on during elections, definitely local elections. And this is what we need to change in our country, that a lot of times the incumbent or the favorite to win the race will be on the major line, which is line A or line 1. And you'll have, like, for example, during national elections, you'll have what they probably did was, I remember they had line 1 was Kamala Harris and her team, and then up under was the governor of the state of Pennsylvania, where I live at. And so if you voted strictly for it, like most people, a lot of seniors, or a lot of people that don't understand that you could vote for different parties or different people, you don't particularly have to vote down the line. But a lot of people vote straight down one line. So I won't say that the elections is rigged. That's not my job. I'll say that most people just vote straight down the line. I know people in local elections that'll tell you, oh, I'm not winning. And I'll be like, why? Oh, I'm not on the first line. And they don't win. Or I'm not on the second line. And they don't win. Because most people don't look or check who they're voting for. They just vote straight down the line. So that's what she was talking about in reference to that. That's something that really needs to be addressed.
Family work for the city. Mine does too. But it's time to tell the truth. And it's time to know what's going on. And it's time for us to stop acting like we don't know what's going on in the city of Newark, New Jersey. He's talking about crime down the lowest it's been in 60 years. The lie he ever told. The lie he ever told. So we just got to do what we have to do, family. But I need our eyes to be wide open. And when we start making decisions, we need to start talking about issues. Absolutely. They can have them, Artie. They can have them. We need to talk about issues that affect our lives, that affect our children, our grandchildren, and generations behind us. There's no opportunity for Norkers to continue to grow in this city. People can't even buy a house on their own block next to them. They've been boarded up for 10 and 15 years, 20 years. Some folks are trying to buy those houses next to their house to give their children somewhere to go, to show them what home ownership is. There's no opportunity with this administration unless you get into bed with them, unless you kick back. We all know what's going on here. We cannot be afraid to say it. We cannot be afraid to identify for what we know it is. We got to stop acting like everything is okay here in Newark, New Jersey, because it is not. You think we want the state of New Jersey to look like the conditions of Newark, New Jersey? Only building downtown? All this affordable housing you got to make $90,000 a year and more to get into? Let's don't get started about 440 Elizabeth Avenue and talk about the backdrop of that. How that owner told Ras and people on the council he don't need their money. He could do it on his own. He has money, but then turned around at the council meeting 2 months ago and gave him a tax abatement. What'd you need a tax abatement for when the rent is $4,000 a month in that unit? So we got to watch the games that are being played. You're not giving no seniors no tax credit on their apartments, on their houses. You're not giving the seniors any help. You're not giving them any help. So you came down here.
And I just wanted to show you guys something else before I let Sister Donna finish. This is what he was arrested for. The penalties for trespassing at a federal facility is outlined under 18 U.S. state U.S. Code subsection 1752 are not inherently affected by individual position or political affiliation or previous noted misdemeanor trespassing, felony trespassing, carries up to 6 months in prison, $1,000 fine, 7 years in prison, $8,000 fine. So this is what he's been arrested for. So he has not been arrested for nothing. He has been charged and he has been arrested for trespassing. So we know that he's not going to go to jail or he's going to have to pay a fine or whatever. But this is what he was arrested for, you guys. Trespassing on a federal facility.
You staged this arrest because we know it's all smoke and mirrors. We live here. We going through what we going through in this city because of your lack of leadership. Lack of leadership. This was done deliberately today. They planned this last night, y'all. Do not be fooled by the Baraka cinema, because you know he loves to make things happen. So I had to come down here today with Miss Doc and set the record straight and let y'all know this was all planned. And as far as I'm concerned, they could keep him in there because that's where he should be. With all of the money, with all of the scandal, with all of the money missing out the tax office, we ain't even talking about that no more. Millions and millions of dollars missing. Seniors writing checks out to the tax director and the tax collector and all of that. Nobody held accountable for the shenanigans that go on in this city. Buildings going on and going down in this city right now with no permit paperwork. Nobody's out here watching the construction that's going on. Nobody. Newark is not working in Newark. We had 8 7-Elevens in here. Not one of them was black or Latino owned. That says something. That says something. And we got to start paying attention to what's going on in this city, around this city, and y'all got to start talking issues. Issues, rental assistance, mortgage assistance. What happened to all of that? Yes, absolutely, Artie, over dinner. Yeah, Miss Pittman, we got to talk about it. Yes, the health inspectors, listen.
So we're going to continue. Like I said, Sister Donna's, her video is kind of long, and I'm gonna play it some more a little later, but I just wanted to get to it. So after his arrest, LaMonica, she went on CNN, to do her dog and pony show. And I say that because most of you who subscribe to my channel know the video that we played during Pat Talk when LaMonica was down there with Maxine Waters putting on a dog and pony show. She just got to Congress and she was down there putting on a dog and pony show where she has not even benefited or helped her constituents. So this is her response in reference to Mayor Baraka being arrested.
Clear about what happened today. And I'm so thankful I've never been so thankful, Chris, for a camera phone more than ever today. Yeah. People was videotaping what was happening and they saw clearly how we were being treated, how the mayor of Newark was treated. And it was it's un-American. And as members of Congress who are just there to do our job, what people elected us to do, to be treated like that. I mean, we were simply there just as a day of work, for a day of work. Chris, literally, to go there, make sure the facility is safe, make sure the detainees were getting, due process, making sure that they were, safe, the facility was up to par. That was all we were there for. Yeah. And for all of this to happen today for no apparent reason other than hatefulness and disrespect to the Constitution and our leadership is very clear today. It's on display.
All right, that's Congresswoman LaMonica McKay.
And see, this goes to show how full of crap these people are. Let me explain something to you guys. When you're in a facility, incarcerated facility, when elected officials come in, they're not protesting outside. Everything is about security and safety for not only the people that's in those facilities, but also for the people that's coming to visit when they're elected officials. They need to be heavily escorted. So if they, like the sister said, if they were coming to do all this work and do a day of work and make sure everybody was being treated fairly, which is a lie, they would have came in the front door. They would have got access by the people who run that facility, ICE, and it would have been smooth. It would not have been no dog and pony show. It would not have been no dog and pony show. So we need to understand like what is really going on. So this is Mayor Baraka after his release.
Deep breath in hell. Thank you, Michelle. Our mayor's free. That's right.
Look at the performance, you guys.
The governor is free. The governor is free.
My cameraman is already there. 12 and 4 right here.
The governor is free. Yep. I get it, but there's no move.
Yeah, you guys, as you see that, I know after that little what went on there, I know his wife spoke. Unfortunately, his mother spoke. She's a beloved woman in the city, surrounding areas. How he tried to, and make himself feel like he felt on the sympathy of the people. But I'm gonna continue with playing Sister Donna's video.
Let's go. We could do it for days. Yes, they could drop it. I'm trying to tell you. Now listen, Hannah Montana, the new AG, let me tell you what some of us is hoping. You can move forward on that paperwork that's already in your office and been sitting there for years that we have allowed this administration and even some of the Booker administration to be overlooked. We are tired of playing here in the city of Newark. This is apropos for us. Some of us are elated that this man is in here today. I don't care about his friends and family because this ain't about friends and family. This is a business conversation. This is about the lives of the people that reside in the city of Newark with all the illegalities going on in the city of Newark and the county of Essex. Code enforcement, you're right, is a joke, but that's because none of them are certified. They don't even know the law. And Ras so busy telling them they can write the place up, but they can't enforce it. The revenues that should be coming in, the landlords, there should be some landlords in here. There should be some landlords. These LLC boy slumlords should be right inside this facility with them. No, it was not that big, Renee. It was not. But again, like I said, they could keep him in there. He deserves to stay in there. The condition of our city, the conditions of our senior buildings, the disrespect we have shown him. These seniors never lived this bad. But they're being used and abused every day by everybody who wants to run for office. Yes, the same thing we've been talking about. Absolutely, alkaline foods. Absolutely. This water is still contaminated. As a matter of fact, the water is more contaminated now than it was in 2016 when we shut all the schools down. But what has the mayor done? He stopped doing the water testing. You guys have not received the water quality test.
Please do not keep our
The Essex County, we live here. We going through what?
Hold on, you guys. I'm gonna show you guys something else. Like I said, this is the charge that he has been charged with. This was, they call her Hannah Montana. The hood, we always gonna have nicknames for people, man. This is the U.S. attorney. She was personally assigned U.S. attorney by President Trump. She's a New Jersey resident. This was her statement. The mayor of Newark, Ras Baraka, committed trespass and ignores multiple warnings from Homeland Security investigations to remove himself from the ICE detention center in Newark, New Jersey this afternoon. He was willingly chosen to disregard the law. That will not stand in this state. He has now been taken into custody. No one is above the law. Like I said, and Sister Donna said, Joe D. Vicencio is county executive, been around for years, been the county executive for years. Joe D. Vicencio, he made his statement. He said this in reference to him being arrested. As the mayor of Newark and a resident, Ras Baraka has every right to object to the ICE program being conducted at Delaney Hall. He should not have been arrested. Protesting should be released immediately. According to Joe D., he said that Ras was arrested for protesting. Protesting was across the street, not on those grounds. We need to understand, once you enter the front of the facility, you are now on that property. This was the statement from Senator Booker, who is also the former mayor of Newark. He said, as the mayor of Newark, Ras Baraka has responsibility to ensure the facilities operating in the city are adhering to the laws that protect the safety and well-being of occupants and residents. This incident is disturbing, unnecessary, indicative tactics that are undermining the safety and security of our communities, not adding to it. Law enforcement officers should have de-escalated this situation. Mayor Baraka should be immediately released. Moreover, the Trump administration decision to reopen Delaney Hall, a private for-profit prison in our community, should have never been gone forward. New Jersey deserves better, and the Trump administration continues to take actions in to undermine the well-being of our residents. Everything is about blaming President Trump. This facility was around when Cory Booker was the mayor. And this is the games that's being played. I'm going to let you guys finish listening to this video.
City, because of your lack of leadership. Lack of leadership. This was done deliberately today. They planned this last night, y'all. Do not be fooled by the Baraka cinema. Because you know. But again, like I said,
I skipped it because we had heard that already.
There. He deserves to stay in there. The condition of our city, the conditions of our senior buildings, the disrespect we have shown him. These seniors never lived this bad. But they're being used and abused every day by everybody who wants to run for office. Yes, the same thing we've been talking about. Absolutely, alkaline foods. Absolutely. This water is still contaminated. As a matter of fact, the water is more contaminated now than it was in 2016 when we shut all the schools down. But what has the mayor done? He stopped doing the water testing. You guys have not received the water quality test in your mail in 5 years, despite the federal court order. So he doesn't listen, and he doesn't think he can be held accountable to anything. He's been summoned and subpoenaed to federal court several times and has not shown up. And just like he thinks he's standing up to somebody, it's time for somebody to stand up to him. Because this is why we in this condition. His friends and his family feel that they are above the law. We know how this is being done in this city. We know what goes on here. Those of you who doing any business in here, y'all forced to buy mayoral and candidate fundraising tickets. You're forced to do it. And some of you do it. Oh, I don't want to say nothing down. The day for that is over. The day for that is over. You take the profits that y'all are making off of y'all businesses and give it to this evil crew. Because they are evil crew. And it needs to stop. He should be in there today, and they need to go. Hannah Montana, let's go. We need to go get these LLC boys, and they need to be right in there with them. If you even saw the atrocities of what's going on in landlord-tenant court, these landlords are taking people to court for money that HUD is not paying to them because of the conditions in the apartment, and that's illegal. Yes, never had the energy for blacks. Well, he ain't gonna. He ain't going to have no energy for the black residents because the ones he got on his team, that's skinning and grinning and bending over and yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. That's all he think he need. And we have to let people know that we're not going to continue to tolerate this disrespect from this mayor. This today, although staged, this today for the Newark residents who are suffering, it's one time for us to see him being treated the way he treats us. You gonna try to act like you fighting with the U.S. Marshals. Ain't nobody believe that. But that's how you do people at the Newark Municipal Council meetings. Constantly having the police there. Constantly having people harassed and violated. And the Newark Police Department don't know no better. They're violating everybody that steps at that mic's constitutional rights when they do that. But again, they're following orders from the evil one on the second floor over in the corner. The evil one in the corner on the second floor over there telling them what to do. And y'all better stop. Because we have some constitutional lawyers that are going to work with us. And going to stop this nonsense and shenanigans from going on in this city. You're hurting people, not helping. You're not helping no families. You're hurting families. You never have since you've been here. You bamboozled everybody with this run for mayor in 2014. Well, 2018 to 2022, we showed you. You got 13,000 votes in 2022. We don't want you anymore. And folks around the state of New Jersey see this for what it is. This was a scam, a sham, and a political event. With Mayor Baraka, because as you can see now, if you rallying against ICE, why you go home at 5 o'clock? The rally don't stop. The rally don't stop. So all those people that were out here with them, where you at now? Where you at now? That's how we know y'all not serious about this. When you come into our community with your nonsense and shenanigans. Your nonsense and shenanigans. And let me tell you, out of town is something that's down here rallying for ICE. How dare you come in here and rally for this facility and not rally against this facility right over here? How dare you not do it? How dare you not hold Joe D to task for how he's treating residents in this facility over here? Because guess what's over here? They got regular prisoners in there. They got state prisoners in there. And there's federal prisoners in there. Yeah, all of that over there. Yeah. Yeah. So this was all a sham. This was all a sham to get attention. And this is what Baraka does. This is all a sham. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And I'm glad that people are beginning to wake up, because I knew this day was coming. When the state of New Jersey decided to give illegals a license without a test, written or driving, I knew we was getting pushed out the way. I knew it. People can't afford to buy food out here. People can't afford to pay their rent out here. Listen, we said nothing. And that's our fault as well, because we have been hurt by all of this that's going on. And we better get it together and do what we got to do, because we've been quiet as well. We have been quiet as well to all this hell we've been going through in Newark and in Essex County. And God don't get us started talking about the state of New Jersey with that horrible Governor Murphy, Division of Motor Vehicle, the Department of Community Affairs. They 4 months behind on processing the light heat applications. People's lights have been turned off every day for the last 2 weeks. They started turning people off in February. It is a complete and total disaster and joke in this state. Can't even get an appointment for real ID. People panicking because they do want to rally to travel to go see their family members. This is a mess. I'm worried about the state of New Jersey because this is where I live at, and we have no services in this city. None whatsoever. None whatsoever. Oh, they doing the emergency phone? Yeah. Emergency. Now, somebody said they're on Freely Housing Avenue. I'm trying to see where that. They said they're at the process of Freely Housing Avenue. Hold on. Yes, they are pushing citizens out of Newark with 30. Yes, they are. They are. Hey, Mr. Follow, how you doing? George, thanks for tuning in. Absolutely. We all have to do what we need to do now, y'all. This that's going on here, we know it's wrong, and we got to start standing up and saying something. With those judges, I mean, there's so many issues we could cover. And again, like I said to you guys, the mayor of the city of Newark, how dare he? How dare he? He has the audacity to disrespect the residents of the city of Newark who are suffering. There were people downtown.
So you guys, that's the most of what Sister Donna was saying. I got some more. I'll play it, but we do have Mayor Baraka has went on his media tour, because you have to have the media tour that comes behind it. This is what he said that night on CNN, and I know that he did some stuff, I believe, with Reverend Sharpton. I didn't get that video, and I don't need that video because I already know what was said, most likely. But this is what we're going to present now.
From others, including some people inside the administration, is pointing to the fact that you're a Democrat and you're running for governor in your state and accusing you of basically conducting a publicity stunt. And I wonder what you would say to them tonight.
I think the publicity stunt is this idea that we should violate the court orders, violate the Constitution of the United States, that we should run roughshod over state and local laws. The reality in America is that if we're having a dispute, then we settle it in the court. I didn't go there to break any laws. I didn't break any laws. I was there as the mayor of the city, exercising my right and duty as an elected official, supporting our Congress people, preparing for a press conference that was supposed to happen there. I did not enter that place unlawfully. I did not break any laws. I don't have any regrets at all. I went down there to support my Congress people, my Congresswoman from my district, Congresswoman Blondie Watson-Coleman as well, who is like a mother to us here, and Congressman Menendez, who's also from our district. I went down there to support them in the press.
Congressman Menendez, mother and father, both have been found guilty for crimes. And it is amazing how this individual even became a congressman. Now, we know that a lot of times with legacy families, the parents don't do what the children don't do what the parents do. But this is the level of corruption that goes on in New Jersey, where some people really don't care. If you want to look it up, look up Bob Menendez, who was the senator of the state of New Jersey. That's his son, who's the congressman now. And like I said, when elected officials want to go in the facility to inspect, they usually come in. It's usually a dog and pony show to the extent of making sure everything is right and so forth and so on. They don't try to go in through a gate. They come right through the front door. So this was all, whatever you want to think it is, it was not him or others protesting across the street, and they just got arrested. They were on that property. I'll let him continue.
Press conference, and I would do it again. I have a right to go to those facilities as the mayor of the city. Fire inspector has a right to be on those facilities. And it is not federal property. It's in fact private property. GEO is privately owned. It's a private prison that these people are getting $63 million to do this work. And they have to abide by local laws. That's just a fact. I don't care what our political differences is. They still have to abide by the law.
See, sometimes people talk too much and they give up too much information. Yes, GEO is getting paid. It is a private facility, prison for profit. And we could talk about whether prison for profit has been good, but a lot of companies, they make money off of housing facilities, because what happens is that it costs too much money to house prisoners, whether it's on a state, federal, or local level. So a lot of times companies will have these facilities. And there's been a lot of pushback in the last 15 to 20 years, how a lot of politicians own stock in some of these prisons. So it's like on one hand, you're doing one thing, on one hand, you're doing another. But like I said, and like what Sister Donna said, who's there, boots on the ground, this facility got approved by Joe DeFacencio, who is the county exec. whether you want to go in there and inspect and all that stuff you just can't do it. It's not a random thing because you're dealing with security. These people are arrested. These people are in custody. So that was Mayor Baraka's statement. We appreciate you. I'm going to finish letting Sister Donna's video go, and then we'll wrap it up from there.
Today, at the Fontura Center, getting help with their light heat bills. People standing in line over at La Casa. People standing in line at UCC trying to get assistance because PSE&G just got a 30% increase again. The average public service bill is $300 to $400 a month, and you don't even have to have anything set up on it. What we are suffering with and what we are going through is a community. It's a tragedy. And if they didn't take them into custody for nothing else, they should have taken them into custody for the abuse that he has done to the residents of the city of Newark. Because all of this was created by this Baraka team. All of this. And everybody on the municipal council, all they do is vote yes. There's no fight back, no pushback. They are as culpable. And when I stand up at that mic and tell them they don't care, and they all down, shut the hell up, you don't care. You don't care. Because when you care, you don't do this to people. When you care, you don't have people living in these conditions and then turn around and give the owners tax abatements and backdate the tax abatements. You don't do that. So Newarkers, New Jersey residents, we got to stand up. We got to start doing what we need to do. We got to start doing. I've been fighting about this for a long time. And a whole bunch of people had all this stuff to say. Now we see the truth coming to light. I knew y'all was going to get on the right page soon. Knew you was going to get on the right page soon because there's no other way to look at this. Newarkers, do you realize that they increased the parking ticket from $55 to $95? Yeah. Oh, listen, George, we can't even start talking about GKB, new community, all of that. We can't even start talking about it. Garden Spires that is now under complete control of the state of New Jersey. Miss Bacon, I love you. Thank you. I love everybody that's on here. We can agree to disagree, y'all, but I'm going to tell you today, I'm sorry if you don't agree with what's going on here today, that this was a sham, that this was orchestrated by Mayor Baraka and the Municipal Council of Newark and probably Joe D too, to push him up, because you know Joe played both sides. So on the outside, him and Leroy acting like they supporting Mikey Sherrill. Underneath, they supporting Ras Baraka. The other side, you know, this the games they play in that Democratic Party, and that's why we need to join with folks who wants to talk about some independence, getting away from this nonsense of them doing what they want to do all the time and not even caring about the people. I don't know if Joe D was there. Joe D is he don't get involved in political stuff, but he supports this nonsense behind the scenes. So he's probably already calling. If Raz ain't out, he's probably calling, please let my friend out. Oh, he's my family. Please let him come out. Because that's what Joe does. Joe disrespected the employees of the county so bad, and I know y'all can't talk about it, but damn it, I will. Joe D and Ras Baraka, for what you have done to the employees of the county, Joe, and Raz, what you have done to the employees of the city of Newark is criminal. Both of you belong in here. Both of you. The health care costs, the lack of giving them an adequate living increase, the fact that you guys never paid them. You know what? And Hannah, let me just end with this. I need you to come in here and get them. Okay, I'm going over there in a minute, but this is where they was at, having the fake fight. I'm going over there. But I just need us to understand that although this may be the ICE Detention Center here, this ICE Detention Center was right over here inside what we call in the hood the Green Monster. And while they were over here, Ras Baraka said absolutely nothing. Nothing. So let's start and continue this fight, y'all. The fight has started. The weather has changed. Let's take it to the streets and let's shut it down. Love y'all.
See you guys. That's what Sister Donna presented. Everything that she said, You could just look it up. You could ask. You could find out. If you don't know anybody in Newark, New Jersey, they'll tell you. It's a lot going on. It's a lot of corruption. It's a lot of misappropriation of funds. It's a lot of constituents who are upset with this administration. This administration, on a personal, like I said, is a beloved family that's from Newark. That Mayor Baraka, whether you liked him or disliked him, the people liked him. So this is difficult for a lot of people, but it is what it is. Some things were stated, and it's whether you want to decide whether this was a political stunt, and what's this going to do and what's this going to help. We know that he's not doing well in the polls. We know what was said. We know what was presented. So I appreciate all you guys in the chat. Appreciate everything. My Cash App is on the screen. We ask people to make a small donation if they can. Let's talk to what we're doing. We're taking our show on the road. Hopefully in August, we will be in Flint, Michigan, because Flint, Michigan's water is still contaminated as well. So we need to understand what we do here. And we need to hold our elected officials accountable. If we're talking about politics, we need to talk about politics. If we talk about other stuff, we're going to talk about other stuff. However, when we got to hold people accountable. We voted them in. They work for the people, so we need to hold them accountable. Like I said, we appreciate all your support. Like, share, subscribe. Best way to support our channel is to subscribe. If you'd like to make a donation, that's the Cash App on the screen. Like I said, we will be in Flint, Michigan in August, upcoming trip. The Let's Talk team. I'm looking forward to it myself. Really excited. We're going to go support them up there. They really do. The streets is really doing a really good job with continue holding them accountable and what's going on. Like I said, their water is still messed up. After all these years, Flint water is still messed up. So, like I said, appreciate you guys in the chat. Wish I would have been able to join my brothers. Make sure y'all check them out. The last Pat Talk, they talked about this issue. Make sure you go back. Chef C, Brother Juan, I think Dr. Short was on the program as well. Make sure y'all check their channels out. And really, really understand what we do here. Like I said, appreciate you guys, and make sure that you like, share, and subscribe.